Chamatkar Sandhu here, reporting for MMAjunkie and USA Today here in London at the London Shoot Fighters Gym. And normally when we conduct these interviews, we're inside, but it's a busy day today with lots going on.
Busy day, and quite a nice day outside.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mike, we've got lots to talk about.
Yeah.
It's been a up and down kind of week in the world of mixed martial arts and combat sports in general.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to when you first heard about Muhammad Ali passing away.
Yeah.
Where were you? What was your initial reaction? And kind of how did you kind of deal with that situation?
Yeah, again, I actually just woke up the evening. I didn't hear anything. I wasn't watching the news or anything, so I didn't know he went into the hospital at all. I got back late from training. Just, crashed as normal. When I woke up, obviously had messages from everyone, just like, Muhammad Ali's died. Straight away you kind of hope it's not. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, you got to be joking. You're looking around. I got instantly go on Twitter, go on Instagram to see what's going on. Everyone's posting stuff, and then it kind of hits you like, yeah, the great one himself has actually died, and it's horrible, man. Like, he's a person, definitely a person I wish I actually had the pleasure of meeting. Just because it's not, he didn't just change boxing and make boxing big. He changed I think just sports in general. The whole pre-battle talking and building of fights, of events. He kind of started all of that, with his charisma. He's just an amazing character to look up to see what he did in Africa when he went over there, and they kind of like took them all under his wing over there as well, and they kind of like took him in as their own when he beat Foreman and stuff. It's just like I've always been a fan of thinking fighters, and for me he was the best thinking fighter when it comes to combat. And yeah, I feel I wanted to just send my blessings to his family, because I know they're going through a hard time. I know he's probably struggling a little anyway with his life, but has lived a long time for having Parkinson's. But it's still devastating that he's actually finally gone. But yeah, it's just sad to hear.
Yeah. And obviously following that, just a couple of days later, we had Kimbo Slice, somebody from our world, world of mixed martial arts. He suddenly passed away at the young age of 42. Again, first of all, just your initial reaction to hearing that news.
Weird enough, the exact same thing happened. I woke up to the news and it was just like forget what's going on. You're just still absorbing what just happened with Muhammad Ali. And this time it's someone that I did have the pleasure of meeting, and what a wicked guy, man. Like, when people say don't never judge a book by its cover, man, it's seriously that. Obviously for what he's achieved from, or where he comes from, shall I say, and what he's known for. Again, you could expect a different kind of character that you meet, and the second I met him, he again just so much praise straight away. He was like, man, I seen your fights, man, and I was just like, but you're Kimbo Slice, you know what I mean? Like, and you're out here telling me that you're a fan of what I'm doing, and he looks forward to seeing me more and stuff. And he was just such a wicked guy. My cousin was out with me at the time, and she was a fan of him as well. Man, they exchanged numbers, they were talking. He's like, yeah, man, that's cool. They used to speak afterwards as well. And what was weird about that one is I think about a week before, because I had lost his contact, so I was like, oh, can you get his contact for me, please? I was speaking to my cousin, and I was like, she's like, yeah, she'll message him and let him know that I want to get in touch with him. And obviously then the news came out, and it's like it's just crazy. I know it is what it is. Like, that's just how life works, But like you say, it's just such a young age for him to pass, and yeah, it's just horrible to hear, man. Again, blessings to his family, all of his kids. I know they're going to be devastated to lose him, and just wish them, to keep fighting and pushing in their life, and don't let it turn into a negative for them.
Well, I mean, that aside, there's been so much going on, in your career this week. But I want to go back a little bit. You were due to fight Fernando Gonzalez in London. Then the report came out he was injured, and then you put out this video. It was reminiscent of an Attitude Era Stone Cold Steve Austin promo, but you put your own spin on it. Yeah. First of all, where did that come from? How did that kind of come together, and what were you hoping to achieve by putting that out?
I'm going to tell you guys the story of this one, yeah? Because again, I don't, you know how I am. I usually do the talking inside the cage. I'm a loud personality when it comes to my combat and what I do. So I don't really talk too much, you know. I've actually had this guy chasing me down, and I've had it before. A load of fighters, you know, they're messaging me on all of my social media stuff. They're like, oh, you're running from me and you're doing this. To be fair, I don't care. Like, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to fight him before. So he took that as I was running from him. And then obviously we were assigned to, you know, fight again this time. And the thing is, what had happened is I'm hearing that he wasn't able to come to the country.
Okay.
So he's got visa issues. So in my mind, you've obviously done something stupid, or you're going through something, and obviously you're not allowed in. Because and this is why I'm saying in the video, I was like, everyone, like UK, let everybody in, man. Which is fine. Again, that's your own personal issues, your own personal things that you need to kind of get, you know, overcome. There was nothing I was going to say about it. We're just moving on. But then he decided to put out that I had injured myself. No, I had lied and injured myself, and I'm off the card. Right. Now, obviously, Bellator, I was teaching at the time, and when I came to my phone, I swear to you, I had about like 100 like WhatsApp messages and like, you know what I mean, 20 messages from different people going like, what's going on? Da, da, da. Now, you're messing about with one mic. Like, now this, like, if you're off the card for whatever reason, that's your business. Now you're messing around with my business, and it's unnecessary. You're going to go out of your way to lie about me not being on the card. And this is what I said. I said, no matter what happens to me, man, I'm going to be on that show. So I was like, Bellator spoke to me, and they kind of said, you know what? Can you just quickly go online and just let everyone know that that's not the case? So I said, yeah, that's not a problem. I said, can I say my words to Fernando Gonzalez as well? They're like, do what you want. Right. I said, cool. I said, you know what? They gave me the green light. Obviously, they didn't know what I was going to do, but I thought, again, I'm not that kind of person. It's like, oh, like having like arguments online. I'm not into that kind of stuff. So I was like, I'm going to make it creative, you know? And again, I come from that watching Attitude Era, watching Stone Cold, watching The Rock, watching all these people that I used to look up to in the sense of like, they entertainment-wise, like I thought they were amazing. I used to love what he did, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna go with that. I kind of just like got to writing, scripted it all, and we just got filming, man. And straight away, I just got into the character, and it came off where everyone was loving it, man. So that's how it came about.
Well, I think you may have stumbled onto something here, because I know you like to say you like to do your talking inside the cage, but I mean, given the response and the reaction to that particular video, could you perhaps, you know, do more of these down the road?
You know what, to be fair, I really enjoyed doing it. And as you say, the responses came out, so I have already been writing, and you got to expect some more things to be coming out, definitely.
Well, I'm looking forward to that for sure. But let's talk about the actual fight now. So again, you're very used to opponents, you know, being switched up, you know, and opponents pulling out. I mean, I think you're probably used to the London weather changing more often than opponents at this stage. But you're fighting Cyborg Santos now. What does he bring to the table that's different, and there's going to be a different challenge compared to Gonzalez?
A crazy experience. They're both experienced fighters, but I think he's a slightly different level of experience. The kind of people he's fought, Diaz, you know, he's fought some tough guys, and they've had some wars, you know. You know, and of recent, you know, just coming back into it, beat Brendan Ward straight away, coming back in. I know he lost straight afterwards, but he is a very tough competitor. So, as always, I know I have to be on my A game. Not many people have as much experience as he has. No one's really experienced, even in his career, has any come across somebody like myself. And had to fight against somebody like myself, and I got to use that to my advantage. And again, I always say I'm competing against myself. I'm competing against the last me that came into the cage. So, you know, when I fought in my last fight against Holloway, I'm trying to be better than that person again. You know, and I know if I'm better than that person, I'm better than anybody that steps in that cage. And but for you know, for the fans, Cyborg is a name. Right. You know, but it's weird how people think though, because I know if he didn't really have that much of an established name, and he was the same person, same record, everything. People will be like, oh, this is another can, and this, look at he's older, look at his record is sketchy. But because he's a name, people automatically, you know, see that as it means he's more dangerous. I do believe he is a dangerous fighter, but I do believe a lot of the other guys were dangerous as well, you know. But that's just me being respectful for, you know, guys that are in combat. And you have to respect everybody, you know. You're in small gloves, and they're unforgiving, man. If you get touched with those, they can be unforgiving. So I'm going in there to just do my job in front of my fans, in front of my hometown. I'm going nuts in that cage. Definitely. Well,
speaking of that, we are now just a couple of weeks away from the event taking place. What's the build up to this card and for yourself been like, given the fact that it is in London? Have you had friends and family and fans blowing you up to get tickets, and what's that whole kind of experience been like for you?
Yeah, you know, it's weird. I always tell people, like, especially like the way people are as well, man. They're too lax about, like, yeah, you know, I'm definitely going to get my tickets and this and that. They try and do everything last minute. I'm like, guys, it's going to go missing, man, and you will miss out on it. And then I'll hear the same thing again that I heard, you know, the first time when I started, you know, oh man, yeah, I'll definitely make it the next time you come down. And I'm telling people, just get on it, man. Like, I'm putting in the work day in, day out, pushing myself hard, and it's important for me to get that kind of support back. You know, I feel like I'm representing London and England very well, you know, and I think it's good to have that support come back. I know if I was from any other country in the world, the support is completely different, and I find where London's a bit more of a competitive city, people aren't always, you know, they kind of wait a longer period of time before they kind of jump on the bandwagon, so to speak. But I'm saying, man, I'm going to be here for a while, and I'm going to be making noise, and it's just going to be getting louder and louder. So don't miss out on these kind of you know, important events, and especially for myself, that support is going to be important for me, man, because I know straight after this fight I'm going back across the pond again, and I'm going to have to do it over there, not in front of my fans. And like I said, as much as I know I can thrive in those kind of situations, having these situations over here when I can fight in my hometown gives me that boost. But I need people there to give me that boost, man. So I keep saying, just go out, buy your tickets, make sure you're there.
Well, given obviously, you know, Kimbo passing away, we had Josh Koscheck pull out of the Paul Daly fight. Do you feel as though, like, obviously the promotion for the events changed slightly now? Do you feel as though yourself and maybe perhaps the other British fighters on the card, there's more pressure on you guys, not just from the promotional aspect, but also actually to, you know, to entertain and to perform on the night itself?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I definitely, I think a lot of people are now looking for who's the headliner, you know. But I always say, I kind of focus on myself. There's always, and I've said from the beginning, there's always some sort of pressure that if you overthink about it, you can kind of hold as a weight. You know, my first fight, it's my first fight, you know, my kickboxing fans are behind me, and, you know, okay, my second fight, after the first fight, that kick, every single fight was different. I first come to Bellator, you're the first fight on the, you're the first time out in a big promotion. Then it was, I'm going to be the first fight on the pay-per-view, and it just kept getting, there's always some sort of reason that there's going to be pressure on you. I think losing Kimbo is big anyway, because he's a fan favorite. You know, I was excited just to be fighting on the same show as him, you know. And so I know it's going to give them a little bit of a knock, but like, this is what I'm saying, come and support your guys, man. Like, we are stars in the making. Look what Bisping's just done now. You know what I mean? Like, the UK guys are stepping up. Liam McGeary first, Bisping in the UFC, Paul Daly and myself, we're jumping up there now. It's just, we're coming from strength to strength. You know, Vasel's going to be there. The show is still going to be insane. It's still going to be a massive show, but this is why I say, come and support your guys. And I think we are very bad at supporting some of our guys. We are this, I think London is we are always the last to kind of get on board with stuff. And I'm saying, from like bottom of my heart, guys, we are working hard to represent you guys. So come and represent yourself, you know.
Very well said. Well, best of luck with the final few weeks of training, and yeah, I guess we'll see you fight week.
Oh, definitely. Like I say, MichaelVenomPage.com. Go get your tickets from there. Come support, and I'm gonna put on a show as I always do, but this time it's gonna be times 10. If you play those video games, if you play Street Fighter, if you play Tekken, expect to see those kind of moves, because I'm drilling them now. London Street Fighter's behind me. I'm drilling them right now. You're gonna see it.
Thanks, Mike.